Funerals, and we want to cry and weep over what we are already doing in the abortion clinic. Hard to believe, but it's true. Think about it, right? Since 1973, 72 or 73, when Roe versus Wade first kicked into high gear, 20 million black babies aborted.
I gotta repeat some of it. They had a message to Israel last month. Go ahead. They was ordered to take specific steps in this war.
I'll put it on that back one more time.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be on.
Funerals, and we want to cry and weep over what we are already doing in the abortion clinic. Hard to believe, but it's true. Think about it, right? Since 1973, 72 or 73, when Roe versus Wade first kicked into high gear, 20 million black babies aborted.
I gotta repeat some of it. They had a message to Israel last month. Go ahead. They was ordered to take specific steps in this war.
All right, let's get it. I found the article too.
Okay.
All right, clap it up. Welcome to the show. This is the One West News Desk, a new radio show for Marylanders, just understand, and abroad. But tonight, just like any night, we're gonna bring out the facts. We're gonna bring out the news. I'm Captain Saparia. This is
Officer Mathum.
and we're gonna be your host for the night and deliver you accurate news and breaking news anytime it feels like breaking. You understand?
Right.
First, we're going to go into something local. That's hit home here to Baltimore. We live from Baltimore, by the way. You got something pulled up already? You want to read?
I got something pulled up, but we can already get into that Marilyn Mosby thing. Before we get into that Marilyn Mosby thing, I want to give a little backdrop. Remember, what year was that when Freddie Gray?
Jeez, what had it been?
Let's grab that. Let me grab that year. That year, Freddie Gray was unalived by Baltimore City Police. You understand? The prosecuting attorney on that case was Marilyn Mosby, and from 2015, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not from a UPK standpoint, but from a citizen standpoint, she stood on her business. You understand? The people that unalived Freddie Gray, she went at them hard, like she was fighting for her own brothers and sisters. You understand? But the problem with Marilyn Mosby is that we still have to understand that, being a part of the system, you being controlled, and they controlled her in her actions way before the Freddie Gray incident. You understand? And let's ready to get into this. Yeah. Read this article. And read this article. All right, this is from the CBS News. This is CBS News. Marilyn Mosby convicted of perjury and mortgage fraud, not pardoned by President Biden. Now, understand something. She was 100% behind President Biden. Biden knows this. You understand what I'm saying? And when you make your alliances with your people, you put yourself, regardless of your stature or your position, you put yourself at odds with the oppressor. You understand what I'm saying? And by Marilyn Mosby standing up for Freddie Gray and going at those unalivers with a vengeance, she put herself in the crosshairs of the oppressor. Let's get into this article. All right. It says former Baltimore City State's attorney Marilyn Mosby will not receive a presidential pardon. You understand? And it says despite her campaigning efforts, according to our media partners at the Baltimore Banner, in May, Mosby was sentenced to 3 years of supervised release, a year of house arrest after she was convicted of perjury and mortgage fraud. Now, understand something, right? A lot of people who are in positions of power in any state, you understand, do these same acts that Marilyn Mosby did. And this is something that the oppressor, listen, what's the scripture where he puts you in a position, he snares and nets, right? The oppressor lays traps for us and puts us in a position so he can use us down the line. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what they did to Marilyn Mosby. Everybody in any position of stature does the same thing that she does on the regular. It's not called mortgage fraud. It's just that they allow you to take from your 401k or your retirement fund to put towards something that you need right now. They never report it, but they allow people to do it. It is illegal. And this is the problem with us being in captivity under our oppressor. We feel like when we get a little stature or a little position, we feel like we can do as the oppressor does. The scriptures tell us what? Come out of her, my people. You understand? We are not to conduct ourselves as the oppressor. And as Marilyn Mosby is finding out now that everything that she did for the oppressor in Baltimore City came to nothing. You understand?
If I could, she thinks she one of them.
Yeah, definitely.
She thinks she believes in that all inclusion. Right. They get a badge, they get a position. Now you think you part of America. Now you think you are part of the system, so you got some type of leeway.
Right.
Some cloak of, some invisible cloak of protection.
Right.
You understand? And you think you're gonna behave just like your counterpart and get away with it. Diddy finding out also the same thing.
Exactly. Yep.
He want to be like the oppressor. They want to follow along and be friends with these other nations, behave like them, be a part of their society in that manner. They're gonna pay the price, but they ain't paying the price.
Right.
If I could, Diddy there's another person that owns Puff Daddy Records with him. He's not getting arrested. He's not even, nobody even knows there's another owner of that record label.
That's heavy. I didn't even
You understand? He has partners. He has investors. Come on, man. Right. And Marilyn Mosby think she a part.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what's so filthy and disgusting. We put our trust in this place, and it fails every time.
Right. And to double down on that, what makes it even more of a slap in the face is that situation. They put her husband in a situation where he had to turn his back on his wife.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's both of them are in the same system, and the same system controls them both in such a way that it tore them apart. One situation. When you stand for your people, you have to stand 100%, meaning you can't play with the oppressor and believe you're going to get away with it, in trying to chase the oppressor.
Right.
You understand? That just doesn't happen. What is that? I think about it later, but the scripture I can't remember.
With the snares and strap.
Well,
We'll get it, but also like in the America, she think she can play both sides of the table.
Right.
She want to be this pro-black all about liberation, fighting for the people, which is fine.
Right.
But you in the devil's system. You in the devil's arena. She went after them cops, which was right.
Yep.
Which was right and just. And then what happened? They got released and they came after her. They tried to get her prosecuted. They tried to get her sued. This is just all this is retaliation for being black.
Right.
For being pro-black. If she would have just kept her goddamn mouth shut, we talking about some tax stuff, some disclosure stuff. She would have been good. She would have been fine.
Right.
But she chose to be pro-black. That's the real problem. That's the real issue.
Right.
Nobody want to talk about. That's why she ain't getting pardoned. Biden don't give a damn. Biden pardoned. What it was this? I don't know if it was a senator, but this particular person was getting money for sending children to jail.
Oh, not the judge.
The judge.
That was the judge.
He
pardoned the judge.
He pardoned
the judge that was actually sentencing the children over what they should have been sentenced, so he could send them to a children's prison to get paid. So, matter of fact,
we'll pull that. We'll get that. And you want to finish this article first?
Yeah. Let me finish. Yeah,
I got it up.
Hold
on, I got it right here though.
Okay.
Oh, bear with me. In May, Mosby was sentenced to 3 years of supervised release and a year of house arrest after she was convicted of perjury and mortgage fraud. She was also ordered to perform 100 hours of community service. On Thursday, President Biden pardoned 39 people convicted of nonviolent crimes and commuted the sentences of 1,500. God damn.
Listen, don't be surprised if it wasn't the people that he pardoned weren't. A lot of those people weren't connected with his son. You understand? He also pardoned his son, which he said a few years back, or a year or so back, that he would not pardon his son. He would let the justice system show through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And think about what his son got pardoned from. Son got pardoned from drugs. He had drug charges. He even had bribery charges over the Chinese businessmen that they got $50 million. You understand what I'm saying? $50 million.
Look, Hunter Biden was a crackhead. Let's just be. Every time we mention Hunter Biden, we gotta put that crackhead on it.
Right.
You understand why? Why is that? We gotta name him for what he is.
How about that?
Hunter Biden, the crackhead, the criminal. You understand? How the hell would why in the hell? I remember when they found that bag of coke in the White House. That just disappeared out the news.
Okay.
That just disappeared. I think we know who that belongs to now.
Right. How about
How the
that?
hell, all the technology you got up there in the White House, and you allowed this level. I don't know what the levels of narcotics is, but it's the top on the top of the scale. Right. Narcotic in the White House. My bad. I'm going off a little bit.
Yeah, well, think about that pardon though, right? Because he was a drug user, a crackhead, right? He was a crackhead and went and bought a gun when he wasn't supposed to have a gun, being on drugs. It's a couple of charges that he beat. They pulled up some stuff that I'd never even heard of, that I didn't even, realize that all of the charges that were brought up on him. You understand what I'm saying? And then not only that, internationally, he was using his father's stature to pull rank and basically strong arm some Chinese businessmen with $50 million. You understand? What do they call it? How criminal do you have to be that's an international criminal?
Mm-hmm.
That's even worse.
Yep. It's really, the word is treason.
Oh yeah, how about that?
The word is treason. You understand? And that's the president's son. They're gonna let that slide though.
If I'm not mistaken, that would be on the same line as sedition. No, not sedition. No, that's not sedition. That's just treason though. Right.
And breaking news: Trump going live right now We got an update. Trump going live right now talking about the plans for deportation.
Right.
This the nation that you want to join. This the nation that the black folk want to join. Now, why is that? And then we went out there and voted for Trump. Meanwhile, he coming down on your brothers and sisters, man.
Right.
Women and children getting deported. Come on, y'all. Any more on this? You want to go back to the article?
Well, you got that article, right?
It's a part of this article I want to touch on. It says Mosby's pardon campaign efforts. I know I didn't know this part here.
Yeah.
The NAACP and more than a dozen other organizations sent a letter to President Joe Biden last May, urging him to pardon Marilyn Mosby. Bernice King, the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., was one of the high-profile names pushing for the pardon. Like, I don't listen. You don't ever hear from the NAACP until something high-profile. Until something high-profile like that. Listen, she did the crime, let her do the time, just like the other brothers in the streets, right? I don't see the NAACP helping brothers and sisters that don't got a name like Marilyn Mosby. When the hell has Bernice King ever been? I don't see her here in Baltimore. I don't see her in the ghettos of America. But they fighting for this criminal Marilyn Mosby. Why? Because of her position, because of her status. These people in these high seats are filthy and disgusting, money-grubbing, attention-seeking whores. So like for being so blatant, but god damn it.
Right.
Shit, they ain't no different than Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. They come out when the cameras come out. They come out when the name is big.
Right.
When it's trouble in the street, they trying to calm the Negroes down.
Right. Think about this too, Cap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we talking about pardons, right? Think about the people that they trying to get pardoned, right? People who really don't help black people at all anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? I mean, think about people that don't even fight for them. What's the sister name that's over in Cuba that been over there since the 60s?
I forget her name. I remember when Carmen was talking.
Right. She's been over there. Nobody even talking about pardoning her, right?
Right.
And that was a sister that was fighting for black people.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Fighting for, what was going on over here back in the 50s and the 60s.
Ain't nobody talking about pardoning Tookie Williams.
How about that?
It's like it's so many people on the list like that need to be released. Is ridiculous, man.
Think about the people that got pardoned.
Right.
Think about all the rappers and everybody that got pardoned. All of the, the people who go against, what black people really stand for.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Those people got pardoned because they know that those people will have a negative effect on black people when they come out. You understand? They're not going to do anything for black people. They're not going to help us rise up. They're not going to help us get any kind of understanding about what's going on and why the government is destroying us like they are. You understand? That's why they get those pardons like they do. Remember all that talk of free, what's his name? What was the boy? What was the one that was with Puffy from Philly? And when he got locked up, Trump went and picked him up.
I'm not sure.
Wasn't that what's the boy name? What's his name? Meek Mills, right?
Meek Mills is what?
Wasn't that the
Meek
one?
Mills got pardoned?
Didn't
Oh, you talking about Lamar Jackson, you talking about Kodak Black? Kodak Black got pardoned for one of his charges.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I mean, think about everybody that we always screaming out, free this person, free that person. We always screaming to free people who really not going to do nothing for us once they get free, who not even going to stand up and fight for us.
Right.
You understand? That's what we need to be screaming if we need to scream anything. But more than that, we need to learn how to stay out of America's business. You understand? Stop doing the things that America does. The scriptures tell us, come out of her, my people. Be not partakers in her sins. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We can't partake in the things that America partakes in. We can't do the things that our oppressor does. Think about it. Our oppressor does everything that goes against what the Most High says. And that's why we're destroyed as a people, because we feel like because we are so-called Americans or African Americans, we can do the same thing and have the same privileges as our oppressor. Well, look, Marilyn Mosby found out. And if you think about it, right, Catherine Pugh found out a few years ago.
Yep. Is she still in there?
No, they released, she just got released maybe
not too long. Probably like just last year.
Yeah, just last year. She just got released just last year. You understand? Mm-hmm. They put us, think about it, they make us go in and they make us suffer. But think about the guy who did all of that lying and stealing that was up in the Senate that they just kicked out not too long ago. No arrest, no trial, no nothing. You understand what I'm saying? We got to understand that we are not these people. You understand? These are not our people. We don't live under the same rule that they have. You understand? Every rule that was made or every law that was created in America was created to go against us. You understand? This is why. What's the guy that just choked the brother out who just got off just the other day?
I don't know, but that story it came out of New York. I know what you're talking about. New York,
that choked the guy out on the subway in New York. You understand? They said he was asphyxiated. He killed them. Think about it, right? A lot of people say they see the same brother on the subway every day doing the same shenanigans. Mm-hmm. But you get an oppressor who stands up and wants to be a hero because he did not get to unalive people in Afghanistan, because he did not get to unalive people over in Syria or wherever he was at. He decided to come home and get on the subway and unalive a brother on the subway, a helpless brother, somebody who was only about 135 pounds. Come on, man.
And listen, he knew what he was doing. That the dude, the unaliver was an ex-Marine.
Ex-Marine. Not only that, they said it was people on there telling him that you're killing him, you're unaliving him, let him go. That should have been a conviction right there. That should have been a conviction, but you always get somebody on there that says, oh, well, he saved our lives. How did he save your life when the man never did anything to you? He gets on the subway and does the same thing, but we feel like we're a part of America. We are not a part of America. There's nothing wrong with being in America. You don't have to be a part of America. Mm-hmm. We live in America, but we are not a part of America. That's the understanding that we have to have. You understand? Where we at?
Still on Maryland.
That's her right there.
How you pronounce her name? Joanne?
Yeah, Joanne, but she had a you know how they take on the other name, they changed their name. It was another name that she went by. Oh, Asada Shakur. That's her right there. Okay. That's her right there. She's been over there since the 60s.
All right, so look, I'm gonna pull up the article with the judge. We got about 30 more minutes of the show.
You want me to read it?
I mean, you can. I got it right here. Hold on, let me pull it up. All right, this from the Guardian here. It said victims of a former Pennsylvania judge convicted in the so-called Kids for Cash scandal are outraged by Joe Biden's decision to grant him clemency. In 2011, Michael Conahan was sentenced to more than 17 years in prison after he and another judge, Mark, how you pronounce this? Mark Civarella, were found guilty of accepting $2.8 million in illegal payments in exchange for sending more than 2,300 children, including some as young as 8 years old.
Can you imagine that?
Listen, this is modern day slavery. If I could, this is modern days. They literally selling children. They're selling children. And y'all know the laws of America. If you get sent to prison or confinement, guess what you get to do? You get to work for 3 cents an hour. You think that 8-year-old wasn't working in there? You think them 8-year-old children wasn't getting put to work? Just like we was getting put to work on the plantations. This is the type of people Joe Biden is friends with. This is the type of people he wants free. He wants crackheads like his son to be free, and people that send children to prison for gain, not for justice, not for to be rehabilitated, but for money. It's the name of the game. And they do that on every level, not only on the juvenile side, but we've been sold to these private prisons, man.
Right.
We've been sold to these private prisons for bread, for money. You think he the only judge? I think it's just one that just slipped through the crack, right?
Right.
It's just one bad judge out there. We got him. This is a normal thing. They got contracts with states. Your local prison got contracts. They got to keep them prisons full. If not, they got to pay for it. If not, they got to pay for the empty cell, the state. You believe that? This is modern day slavery. If you go in the, what is it, the 13th Amendment?
Yeah.
If you go into the 13th Amendment, it states the abolishment of slavery unless you commit a crime. Yeah. So you commit a crime, you jaywalking, guess what? You back on that field.
That's where all the black codes come in at. They created laws just so we could break them. They created laws that we would automatically think about when they created that law. And I remember when my mother told me that as a youth, that if the police pull you up and you don't have $1 in your pocket,
right,
you could be locked up. Well, if you don't have ID, you could be locked up. Now think about how hard it was for a newly freed, so-called free slave to get an ID back in those days. Think about how hard it was for him to get $1.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Think about that. You understand? So they created these laws so that they could rearrest you and put you back into slavery. Mm-hmm. 3 or more in a group, you could be arrested.
Okay. And the scriptures say the old or the young or the old.
Yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing. They don't give a damn how old you are. You getting, and listen, you think they selling them? You think they selling little white boys? Who you think was putting themselves? Use your imagination. You think them prison filled, them juvenile centers is full of white kids?
Right.
You understand? We was being targeted, man. Pennsylvania. I'm gonna get some more of this article real quick. As young as 8, that's
that's the beginning of your life.
8 years old, bro.
You starting off. You
in elementary school.
You learning.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know law.
Mm-hmm. What grade you in? Second grade?
Second grade, third grade.
Mm-hmm. And you get put in a cell.
Yeah.
You get put in a cell.
Yeah.
With what, 13-year-olds?
All of the stuff that you saw on TV that you're seeing on TV as a kid. Mm-hmm. Now it's all of a sudden is happening to you. You understand?
And these and they got kickback 2.8 million. Okay, Cohen was released from prison in 2020 due to COVID-19 and placed on house arrest, which had been scheduled to end in 2026.
So, sorry, if I may, before you finish that.
Go ahead.
When was he put in?
Let me see.
Because I believe he was put in 2020.
He was sentenced in 2011.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
When did he go, though?
I'm not sure, because it's always
that
some
was
time.
Just recent. We just talked about that last year, right?
Okay. So he didn't really do no road time.
He didn't.
Let me get some more. Cohen's sentence was one of about 1,500 the U.S. president commuted or shortened on Thursday, while also pardoning 39 Americans who had been convicted of non-violent crimes. Okay, let me see. You know, it's a bunch of think pieces and articles on it. Y'all can check it out yourself. But that's their nature. What the scriptures say, they hold themselves not guilty.
Exactly.
They hold themselves not guilty. Look at the Israelis.
Yeah.
They are clearly war criminals, but what are we just and they over there in we're gonna get to the international news if we got time.
Yeah, listen.
They over there in Syria. They government for what the hell does that got to do with Hezbollah? What the hell does that got to do with Hamas?
Right.
These filthy, disgusting bastards can never have enough, man.
They are a brute beast. That's
Brute.
what they're called, a brute beast.
Mm-hmm. And it's clear as day, man. They are the criminals of the earth.
Exactly.
They are the criminals of the earth, man.
Didn't know, now you know.
Murderous scumbags. So, where we at now?
On that international now.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Syria, Israel. They dropped something called the.
Israel, officially the state of Israel, is
They said they dropped something called the earthquake bomb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You pull this up.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that too.
Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I'm gonna show you how cruel this beast is. And you know what? You know another thing I recognize and seen that you don't see a lot of military. You don't see a lot of Israeli boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All you see is bombs dropped.
Right.
So you see, I haven't seen like a firefight. I probably, I seen the only footage I've seen of Israeli troops is them running in fear.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what they said. They said they don't like to fight. You understand? He said before they send their troops in, they severely bomb everything so that there's nothing moving, not even a roach, before they go in. When they get into firefights, they end up unaliving each other. They have so much fear in them. They showed a video. They thought somebody was in a room, and then one started shooting, and then they all just started wildly shooting. You understand? These are people who take advantage of situations. They take advantage of the weak. You understand? They don't stand man to man. They won't do that. And we see that in the oppressor every day. The oppressor never comes at us one-on-one unless he has a weapon or it is many of them. That's the only way. They never stand toe-to-toe with you. You understand? Because they have nothing but fear in their heart. That's why we have to be aware of how we, present ourselves around them. You understand? We can't put ourselves in a position for them to unalive us. Go ahead, Cap.
Con, I got an article here. This is CBS. Let me share the screen real quick. Show y'all something real quick. I'm gonna show you how diabolical these people are.
Hey man, I had some pepper steak for you tonight, man, but I had messed it up last night.
Okay, let's show it up. Here we go. Israeli strikes destroy Syria's weapons of war as Assad laments country's fall into hands of terrorism.
okay. I found this on the web for weapons of war as a limit.
Nobody asked you nothing. See, I'm gonna probably get a red flag now because I'm trying to teach this class.
They said that bomb that they dropped registered 3.2 on the Richter.
I seen that.
That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? What I just can't imagine. What if they would have did? What if they would have had a Richter scale to register those bombs when they first started bombing Gaza?
Come on.
You understand?
Come on, man.
But like I always say, though, right? We were the Gaza Strip. We're for the Gaza Strip. You understand? We've been through all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The problem is, though, is we can't see our own anguish and our own pain and our own suffering. We can see the suffering and the pain from all these other nations, but we can't see our own pain and suffering.
God. Hey, look, make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. You understand? So I'm gonna pull this article up real quick. Let me read a little bit of this. A CBS News team drove through a Syrian military air base on the outskirts of capital city Damascus Monday, and the devastation caused by Israeli airstrikes was abundantly clear. Israel has said it determined to destroy weapons and other military hardware that oust dictator Bashar al-Assad and his father spent half a century accumulating before it can fall into the hands of extremists. Now, I can't wait till the real news come out. How many civilians they didn't unalive.
Oh, it's been a lot. They already talking about it, right?
In Syria also?
Yeah, in Syria.
Come on.
Like,
listen, this is why they want to ban TikTok and ban certain posts and, shadow ban accounts and things of that nature. Why? Because the man of sin is being revealed.
Right.
I put it that way. Let me put it biblically. You understand? Because that's the truth. They revealed themselves of their true nature.
Right.
They revealed themselves of how they truly operate. And then everybody looking at Biden, oh, you're the Democrat, you're the upstanding politician, you're the good, they talk all this smack about the Republicans, right? Which is right. I'm not a Republican.
Right.
But on the other hand, to still allow these acts of cruelty among the earth.
Right.
So we see right through it, man.
Yeah, but basically they want to talk about how cruel one party is when both parties are just as cruel.
Exactly.
You understand? There's nothing that separates these two parties but a color. You understand? Like we always say, these are two wings of the same bird. Regardless of what's happening, this bird is going in one direction. Those wings are going in the same direction. The evil that they commit upon the earth, they do the same evils, but they may do them in different ways. But it's still evil nonetheless. And this is the reason why we can't incorporate ourselves with them.
Exactly. Let me get some more of this.
Can I grab a scripture?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 12. And it says, but these, speaking of our oppressor, as a natural brute beast, and this is the personality, this is the what do they call it? The persona of our oppressor, being a brute beast, made to be taken and destroyed. You understand? And the Most High is going to destroy this brute beast. You understand? I know how everybody feels. Everybody feel like they want to step up and they want to do something. But what we have to do is we have to get back into these laws, statutes, and commandments. And we have to let the Most High, pass that judgment himself. The Most High is going to destroy these people. You understand? Speak evil of things that they understand not. You understand? You understand that our oppressor believes he understands the people of the earth, but he does not understand the people of the earth, especially the 12 tribes. You understand? This is the reason why he keeps calling, what did he call the Hispanics? He calls them illegal immigrants and things like that. Think about how can How can you be an illegal immigrant on land that was stolen from you?
God.
Calls us super predators.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I'm seeing, that our oppressor is the super predator. Look at what he's doing over in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Syria. You understand? Over in Ukraine. Look at those. Think about this. A lot of people don't know, too, that those Ukrainians are, a lot of those Ukrainians are the babies of those Nazis of World War II.
God.
That's what people don't understand. After they destroyed Russia, or the Soviet Union, as it was called back then, a lot of them settled in Ukraine. That's where a lot of them hid themselves, down in the Panama Canal and all of them, those places like that. They hid themselves away. The Soviet Union allowed them to stay in Ukraine. This is the reason why they have so much disdain, and this is the reason why Ukraine has so much disdain for Russia now, because they still remember the hurt and the pain from that loss. You understand? And that's where they come from. It's actually, I was actually reading a little bit of it today. You understand? Because I really had to go in, because I heard a couple of people say that about those Ukrainians. A lot of those Ukrainians are the babies of those Nazis from World War II. All you got to do is just look it up, though. You understand? And then you can understand. And then Vladimir Zelensky, he's actually was a Russian. And he was actually a comedian.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So now you got a comedian running the country into a hole. His wife just brought a Bugatti, a $3 million Bugatti, maybe last year.
Jeez.
And they trying to figure out where did they get the money from, being in the middle of a war. That's where you got the money from. Check your bank account.
Right.
You know what that FICA? That's what I think FICA is for, too.
Right.
I think that money that go to, because what does FICA mean? Nobody knows what FICA means. Somebody tell me what FICA means.
Somebody put that in the chat.
Somebody put that in the chat. What does FICA mean?
Well, look, they ain't no different than that judge, just on the international level.
Right, exactly.
Ain't no different than that judge, just on the internet. They are all crooks.
Yep.
They're all crooks. And we up there talking about pray for Ukraine, pray for the Palestinians.
Right.
When the hell you gonna pray for yourself, for your people?
Exactly.
We stuck up in we destroyed as hell, bro.
Anybody saying pray for us.
And none of them nations pray for you. And listen, them nations, let me exit out of this article real quick. Them nations know who the hell you are. Them Palestinians know who you are. Them Russians know who you are. Hell, they brought out the
I'm about to say
the black icons during the war. They trying to make America. They try to get you hit as a measure of war.
Right.
You know what I mean? Who else know? The Ukrainians know. Say it again.
He played it slick.
Come on, man.
He came out with the Russian icons. He pulled the book out and said, hey, you go right here.
Come on.
Yeah.
And we've been bringing that out since the 60s. Since the 60s, they swept that on real quick. They got out the news real quick, right? Come on, yo. The oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
That's what we gotta recognize and come to terms with, man. Their cruel and their behavior, their cruelty is nothing new. We've known this for centuries now. Ain't no changing them. The Ukrainian ain't no different than a Russian. The Palestinians ain't no different than the Israelis.
Right.
They all have a confederate against you.
Right.
Now everything that's stirring up in the earth right now, this war, these wars, and these rumors of war, we thought it was going to de-escalate. They had rumors of well, we're going to come to a ceasefire, and what was it, Lebanon?
Right.
What was it, Lebanon? They had a ceasefire.
Ceasefire, yeah, and then they started fighting again. The French put that. The French better get ahead too. Listen, all these nations is going to get in this fight. They just prolong. Everybody's dragging their feet. Iran going to pop off again. Trust and believe. Oh, that's about to happen soon.
Iran is going to pop off. Come on, yo.
That's who that's who those Israelis got their eye on, Iran.
Oh yeah.
They figure if they can knock Iran off the pedestal, then that's it right there. Their greater Israel, their vision of their greater Israel is in existence.
And listen, Madonna, they've been talking about fighting Iran for decades.
Right.
For decades now. Like this ain't nothing new. America is literally in a proxy war through the Israelis.
Yep.
America is literally in a proxy war against Russia through the Ukrainians. They've been brewing this up for the last couple of decades in Ukraine.
Right.
Doing joint task forces in bed with NATO. America is not even a part of NATO. They're not even a part of NATO. Oh, they talking about when the war is over, Ukraine is going to be a part of NATO and the blah, blah, X, Y, and Z.
Russia not having that.
That's
going to be the good part right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the war really going to bang off at.
Huh.
You understand? And then think about how horrible America is when Russia tried to put those nukes in Cuba back in 57, 58. America wasn't having that. Now America's turning around and doing the same thing that the Russians did in Cuba. And America said, no, no, no. Well, this is the reason why Russia said, no, no, no. Not right there. And then the thing about it is that's right on Russia's doorstep.
Exactly. Don't Russia got a right to defend itself?
Right.
They don't want to use them to the same terms. Why?
Right.
Because they not a Cold War, but a proxy war.
Right.
And look, that embargo you're talking about is still in effect. Every nation in the United Nations, all of them, every last one of them, voted to end has been voting to end that embargo for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
It's only 2 nations that want to keep it in place. Anybody want to take a wild guess? Anybody want to take a wild guess? The 2 nations that got power and clemency, I should say,
right,
over the United Nations, America and the Israelis. Ain't that something, right?
That's like a spoiled kid. They got the ball, the bat, and the gloves, and if he can't get his way, he's taking all of his toys and he going home.
Right.
That's America.
They taking the ball. They're taking the ball off the court.
When you say you don't want to do something, America says, "Well, we're putting sanctions on you. We're going home. We're taking our ball."
Right.
That's America. America's a spoiled brat. And think about it, right? This scripture right here says, "And shall utterly perish in their own corruption." America is falling apart in her own corruption right now. She's being destroyed. Listen, the reason why think about this. When America does not fear a nation, they go in and bomb that nation themselves. They went in and bombed Afghanistan. They went in and bombed Iraq. You understand? They went in and bombed all of these other nations, but with Russia, they use Ukraine as a proxy, and it's the same thing that they're doing with
Palestine.
But
really is Iran.
They're going against Iran.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
So they use that. What's going on with the Palestinians was actually a curveball. They made it seem like it's starting here, when in actuality, their whole scheme was to go at Iran, which is about to happen now. Now, back in, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to take too much time.
No, you good.
But in 2003, they said they wanted to conquer 7 nations in 5 years. That was Libya. Libya's wiped off the map already. That was Saddam Hussein. What was that? That was
Iraq,
Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran was one of them, but Iran's on that now. Syria, which is now falling already. Syria has just fell, and it was 2 other nations, but Iran was their biggest target. So that's what's happening now. Now they said 5 years. That was supposed to have been back in 2008, 2009. Took a little bit of time, but what they were trying to do is starting to happen now. With the link up of Russia and Iran with China on the backside, this is where that world war is really going to get cracking at right there. Understand? So, Russia got that, what's that supersonic missile or?
They got a supersonic, they got
hypersonic. Wasn't it hypersonic or something like that? That's the one that can't be stopped.
And it can't be detected.
It can't be detected. No, they said it moves so fast that their what's names can't even lock in on it. That's how fast it moves.
God damn.
So yeah, that they said it's nothing that can stop that right now. That's why they dropped the first one. When they shot the first one off, just to Iran shot the one off to let them know, look, y'all see what we got. Y'all want to keep on moving, then you understand. So I want to see it cracking. I want to see another one go off.
So like, just to echo what Mathan was saying, America's cowards, just like the Israelis.
Right.
But the Israelis, they getting played right into America's hands. They don't even know.
Yep.
With these proxy wars or what have you. But they gonna keep playing this game, but they ain't gonna be a proxy for long. They gearing up.
Yeah.
They gearing up. America, so-called America, believes we ain't gonna be in this war. America is gonna be a part of this war. America is gonna put boots on the ground if they boots ain't already on the ground.
They already got it.
Come on, man.
They said just like NATO wasn't supposed to be in Russia, but they found out NATO's all over in Russia. They got the French and the British.
But it's 7 o'clock. Hey, this was the first episode of the One West News Desk. We're going to be live every Monday, bring you the headlines, bring you the news, local, national, and international news here. And breaking news anytime it feels like breaking. We're going to get with you. Clap it up. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to leave you with this real quick. Check this out.
Funerals, and we want to cry and weep over what we are already doing in the abortion clinic. Hard to believe, but it's true. Think about it, right? Since 1973, 72 or 73, when Roe versus Wade first kicked into high gear, 20 million black babies aborted.
I gotta repeat some of it. They had a message to Israel last month. Go ahead. They was ordered to take specific steps in this war.
How you gonna get class? You want me to go down, or you want me to stay up here?
No, we gonna need a class regular. Shalom, Israel.